Yeah.
and and realize that, hey, this is, they want my energy, or like I said, I don't consent to any astral relationship or sex or anything. And
Right.
last night they were trying to get me, like I said, they were trying to get my mermaid dolphin abilities, and I had on this light blue dress, very beautiful, and it was very shiny. And then it's like I shed my skin or something, because then that dress was on the floor, and then I had another lighter.
That's bizarre.
So tell me what you have. We're live. Thanks, guys, for being on Codebreaker Real Talk. I have Teresa Sixberry with me, and we're going to talk about ghosts, and we're going to talk about this new Nimbus thing that people think it's new, but it's like a cover. How are you, Teresa?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So happy to have you on again. And it was fun last week when we got together. That was fun.
Yeah.
So I'll read, let me just share this onto Face, Crook real quick. So Project Nimbus, Jessica Rubber Starlet, she said last night, she says, I can't remember what Project Nimbus is. And then she was sending me a video about this guy with the Israeli person there who is in charge, right? And I don't
Hmm.
want to play too much of this because I don't want to get it taken down.
Right.
It says, it's fucking real. It says, if I can't remember what Project Nimbus is. Sorry. It says, so the Israel has signed a 45, come on, guy, $45 billion thing. I can't see the whole thing because the guy's talking in front of the thing for Google and YouTube. Okay. So it pretty much talks about, let me read to you what it is. Project Nimbus is 1.2 billion cloud computing contract between the Israeli, sorry, my Spanish, Israeli government and the American technology companies Google and Amazon initiated in 2021 to provide comprehensive cloud servicing, including artificial intelligence and machine learning. Excuse me. Despite Google's claims that the contract does not involve highly sensitive or classified military workloads, the Israeli military and defense apparatus have been stakeholders from the beginning, and the project has drawn significant criticism for enabling surveillance and potential human rights violations in the occupied Palestinian territories. Now, I've been talking about this forever, since 2019. I read a book by Amy Webb called The Big Nine Tent Companies, and I wrote about it in my book, Sheila and the 99, and it's GMAFIA. So GMAFIA is, they're wanting to control everything. And GMAFIA is Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook or FBI, IBM, and Amazon. Look at what happened to you, Teresa. You had everything on Microsoft. And what happened? Go ahead and tell everybody.
It's gone. It's all gone. It was and it was weird because I was paying for it to be where it was stored, and it's just all lost. Nothing I could do about it.
But you
It,
had,
it got bought out. It got bought out by Microsoft, and they just trashed everything. Not only mine, but there were thousands of people on that platform. It was a good platform, especially for international audience. Um, a lot of people didn't like it. Um, I loved it. I loved it. It was a great, and I got to learn a lot of stuff and teach myself a lot of stuff technologically that otherwise I would have never known. I would have never got that experience. So
yes,
I was bummed out. I have a couple of episodes saved, and a friend of mine has a couple saved, and I don't know if I put a big call out, I might be able to get some feedback and get some good podcasts back, but It's all good. It's all good. Let's start over. Just start over.
Yes, I agree. When I was hacked the second time, I had to start everything over the channel again. I had like 1,500 subscribers and then nothing. So now,
Yeah.
clean slate and don't listen to people. Like what was happening to me is there were some handlers that were coming in and saying, well, why are you talking about that? And you should put down this video and you should see this person in the SSP community. Look at what they're doing and blah, 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 trying to handle me.
Yeah.
And I just got pissed off, so pissed off that I went black for like a month. And then I said, F everything. I started everything again, new again.
Yeah.
And I was hacked by a guy in Utah. His name, he goes by Shantz, on Facebook. So if he ever sends you guys a friend request, say no. But this whole GMAFIA thing, what it is they want to see every thing you're looking up online, what you're purchasing, what you're saying about the government, what you're saying on Facebook, everything that you say, this AI thing, with GMAFIA, with Project Nimbus, they're pretty much violating our rights.
Right.
So they want
Honestly, I don't even know why I still have my Facebook account because I used to sell the jewelry that I made on there. I was doing really, really good. Then they changed the algorithm and they said, "Oh, you have to get a business page." And I said, "Why?"
wow,
Why? Why do I need to perfect what's already perfect?
right.
And so they'd let me go about another 6, 7 months on not doing that. But then they said, "Oh, well, your personal page, you need to advertise." So as soon as I started advertising, I got my bank account constantly overdrawn. I was getting people trying to take money out of my bank account, things like that. And I was like, no. Then I had someone in India that was using my business name like it was their store, and they were using my web page and my Facebook page, and Facebook wouldn't do anything about it. So that was about 2016 or 2017 when that happened, and I don't think I've posted hardly anything on Facebook since then because they wouldn't stick up for me. They didn't, they didn't, they weren't honest.
No, it's
To
they're
to
part of
the
the whole
point, they
hoopla.
just were straight up not honest.
Oh yeah.
And getting and paying for those $5 ads for the boosts and all of that stuff, that was the biggest BS that I ever fell into. It was just it was it messed up everything. It messed up everything.
You
So
know,
I don't even, you might see a new post and it'll have some jewelry, but it's probably something I sold 10 years ago. Yeah.
but you're still working on it, and I'm grateful for the Brazilian for the crystal of Brazil you got me. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
you're
appreciate you.
welcome.
Um, so obviously, Facebook, they don't care. I did have last year, I had a business page for all
Hmm.
my junk journals, and then the regular page was just dishing out information. Because me, I'm all about, come on, this thing here, this thing that, and a lot of people, um, because Facebook was really pretty much to get your identity, and it all started with face, right? Face. They wanted
Right.
your picture. Everybody, still to this day, some people use it just to put selfies on every freaking day of their boobs or their ass.
Or
But
their
it's like that's
hot dog.
huh? What?
Or their hot dog, their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner. I was listening to this show the other day and they were talking about the future of AI and being a grandparent. So these people that are adults now, they're waiting for their first grandkid, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna sit around and we're gonna show pictures of the food we got to eat." instead of the trip to another beautiful country, they got to record and go on a cruise ship or whatever, like real life stuff. They're like, here's my food from Olive Garden, you know.
Yeah,
It was
that's
hilarious.
silly. I mean, and I did that too for a while. To do like,
I
hey, this is
only
what I'm
post the
eating.
pictures of food that my daughter cooks me that are mwah.
Yes, Jean is awesome. If she's there, say hello. Um, I got the pleasure of meeting both of you guys. First of all, I met Teresa at John DeSalza's meeting, which we're getting ready to do another meeting the 25th of January if anybody wants to go. We posted
Yeah.
that online. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So going back to the GMAFIA thing, what it is also is anytime you go to the doctor, anytime your biorhythm pretty much is being read, your temperature, your heartbeat, whatever, they want to make sure you're still alive. This is a person that's still alive and get money from, right? And they are tracking everything that we do. So if you have bad credit, they're going to be like, hey, you might not be able to get an apartment or a new house or a new car because you have bad credit. And it's part of the China credit score. Years ago,
Oh, the social credit score.
right? All of this, Project Nimbus and GMAFIA and all this is all part of the infiltration of AI. And a lot of countries are in on it, including the United States.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is that Palestine is pretty much funding more of the money, for this. And we all know where Black projects go, and it's to fund these ugly AI programs. And then they also want, in the future, they want, just like they have a phone for everybody, they want a being that's like a cyborg, but that looks like us, right? And they want one person in each household, which I do not consent. That's BS. That's BS. And then also Douglas Dietrich talks about how he and his mother were taking their physical, their face, whatever, their person, they were taken in 1980 and were made dolls out of them. And dolls meaning AI, where they would pretty much give them to lieutenants or high command as pacifiers for them to have sex with these dolls, and they're pretty much human hybrids, but in another form. And I don't consent to that. But okay, going now to, I've talked about that a lot. So going now to when I was at your place the other day, you were showing me this whole thing that you had about ghosts. Do you want to go ahead and talk about that now? That'd
I
be
was
awesome.
I was talking with Chat GPT on the similarities between an alive person and a ghost person, not a ghosted person, but a ghost. It's not alive anymore. All right. So it turned out to be pretty funny. It turned out like it's getting it. I'm still having the conversation, and I think I have like 6 pages now, six full whole pages of it. Maybe I'll make a little ebook out of it or something. I don't know.
If you go to more, or you actually know, before more, there's chat, and then there's a heart, and then there's an arrow. It says share. So you can press share, the green button, and then you can share your screen. So that way you can show everybody your notes, because I think that was pretty cool what you were
Oh,
showing me.
oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. Well, I'll do that another time with some other stuff that I've been working on
Okay.
um for this show because I've been checking a couple of people out because they don't know anything about all this that I know. Like, how do I know this stuff? Well, it's because it's happened or happening to me. And so it was interesting last night. I was listening to a guy on YouTube. He has a show called Dark Waters. He's always goofing around and talking about watch the water, man, watch out for the water. And he gets some pretty scary stuff, like pretty bizarre.
Like in
And
high school, right? They would say, "Don't drink the water because you don't want to get
yeah,
pregnant." That was back then.
yeah, yeah. And he was talking about the different things that they look um at this other podcaster that's his friend, which I haven't quite caught the guy's name yet or his channel, but I will because I'm going to listen to him tonight. It's supposed to be part two. Anyway, he's talking about the different things of how they, when they go and they deal with a crash retrieval and there's an occupant and maybe there just happens to be a human being there that has seen this thing. And they talk about how they have to deal with it and pretty much how to decode what they're saying, which I thought was really, really interesting. And I'm like, the only thing I have to say to the ETs if they're not from Earth is why the hell would you want to come here? Especially nowadays. I can see why they wanted to come in the 50s and the 30s and the 40s, after the wars were over. I could see why they would want to come, but to me, it doesn't make any sense why they want to be here right now. Unless they have a dark agenda, then it's really obvious why they want to be here, you know? So, I don't know. I know I was looking at some pictures of the house I grew up in and stuff, and how much it's changed since my mom passed away in 2018, how much, or 2019. It's changed a lot. So,
I
and
had some things happen to me too at my grandparents on my father's side. All the homes that they lived in were haunted, and
ours was haunted too, believe me.
yeah,
I think
you can
it
talk
still is.
about some. Yeah, talk
I
about
think
some
it
things.
still is.
Let's bounce back.
Um, Well, the house is on the old Oregon Trail. It's called the Tanawax Highway, and it uh it creeped me out the first time I drove up the driveway. It just creeped me out. And we went in the house, and then I was in school or doing some training somewhere or something. I don't remember what I was doing, but I, I was there and I decided not to go in the house. So, and I told my mom I would be back in a couple of weeks. And so I went back and she was all moved in and everything. And she said she did a little research on the house and found out that there was a lady and her son that lived there and they both died in the house. She died in pretty close to 100 years old. Just pretty, I think 98 or 99, something like that. And her son died when he was in his 20s because he had what's called Stone's disease, where, or they call it Lott's disease. And it's where their arteries turn to salt and their skin is gray, like a gray. It looks just like they look. And they don't have the big eyes, but they have big dark circles and nothing can cover it up. And so both of those people died in the house, the lady and her son. And I was there for about a half an hour and I told my mom, I said, Mom, is this a two-story house? She goes, yeah, go upstairs, tell me what you think. I got halfway up those stairs and I booked it down the stairs and got the hell out of there. And I said, this isn't very funny, Mom. You knew there was something up there. What is it? She goes, I don't know, but I hope it doesn't come downstairs ever. She said she put a spell on it so it wouldn't come down the stairs. So I was like, oh, good. And then there was like look, it wasn't organized up there. There was just some boxes she threw up there and stuff like that. And then like I don't know, like 12 years later when I got out when I got out of the military, she had contractors that came in and did some work upstairs. But they, in Washington State, the roofs, they have eaves underneath the roofs. There's eaves, and the freaking bats were coming in left and right, and they were flying around in the storage room, which that room on that side of the house it was really long. It was a really long room. They could have made two bedrooms out of it. But then there was three small bedrooms on the other side. So that was pretty cool.
I
And I
had
know, go ahead.
I had one well, real quick, because that reminded me, my one of the houses that my grandparents had, they had 12 kids, okay, together with my father. And they had like a huge house on top, and then on the bottom they had like a small little tiny apartment. And
Yeah,
then in the back of the house on top, because they didn't have a regular bathroom, it was an outhouse outside attached to the kitchen. And then
right.
they had 8 more rooms, okay? And when we had just moved here to Tucson, I was like 7, and my dad gets a phone call and he's like, "We have to go to Nogales now, Arizona, because your aunt is hearing footsteps," and it would just keep going and going, the
Ooh,
footsteps. And then he went there, there was nothing there. And then there was some times where I had to sleep over there to visit my grandparents. And there was this rock that would go boop, 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 on the roof, and then it would fall. But instead of just falling and staying, it would keep going. And I'm like, what the hell is that, right?
are you
And
sure it wasn't a fairy or something?
it was kind of weird.
Might have been a
I
fairy.
It's
Not
weird because
all
I
of them,
wasn't
not
there.
all of them are nice.
No, I don't. No, did I tell you the story about the fairies, that they were in my dream and they were flying roaches, and then the flying roaches turns into fairies? And
Oh
there's this
God,
guy that
no.
yeah,
I
there's this
hate
boy
roaches.
there. Me too, I hate him. And there was this boy on my hand. He had red curly tight hair with freckles. He had a blouse on and a tutu, and he had those tights that had lines on them and shoes. And he was like, "Don't kill us, we're fairies." I'm like, "Hell no." So then I started getting my shoe and started killing them. And then the little fairies turned back into roaches, and then the roaches turned into little dogs. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And it was a bleed through to where I was living back in the day. I was fine. It was fine. I had no problems for 4 years, and the 5th year rolls around. 5 means change. Remember that. The roaches started coming. New people started moving in. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I got all the help that I could get. I posted it on YouTube. The management wouldn't help me. The city wouldn't help me to get out of there. And then they also sent fire, meaning the oven turned into fire when I was like trying to cook something, but there was nothing odd. Nothing was not. It was just normal. And then the fire came, and then I used my hands, like the cold. I just saw ice coming out of my hands and just froze the whole thing. It was weird. Telekinesis, I guess. But lately they have been attacking me with phlegm. I have not had phlegm since, the last time I got sick, which I get bronchitis sometimes. But this time it's weird. It's like I just inhale and the phlegm comes out. And then today, when I was having that dream, oh well. Anyway, let's go back to the haunted thing. Let's see, the pink house, the stairs, the creaks. Oh yeah. So then my grandmother told me when she was alive that my father, when he was like maybe 3 years old, he was in um his little crib, and there was a lightning that struck, And I find that really interesting because when I was about maybe 3 or 4, maybe about 3 or 4, I was barefoot and I had just opened the window because it was raining. And I wanted to go outside, so I stepped outside. And then my mom says there was a lightning that hit in front of me, and I just stared at it like that's cool. You know? Ooh, coffee sounds good right now.
Mm.
Um,
Is pomegranate
so
tea?
ooh, pomegranate. I just had my soursop tea.
Oh, you did?
Soursop, yes, I've been using that guavabana tea since the C word hit, the cancer hit years ago. And I was also reading one of my friends, she said, Lindsay, she said that it also kills the parasites in your mouth too, like sugar. Because what it is um, I made the mistake of eating sugary things for the past 2 weeks and I got sick. I got so sick.
Okay.
I can't eat sugar anymore because my body
No
has been
more, no more
detoxed for
cinnamon
years.
rolls for you.
No more. If I get any, you guys can have any. Can have them.
Oh,
So then there was a lady here. I didn't know when I moved into this place. Things just were odd. Like, of course, I can't sleep at night. That's normal for me. But I would see more shadows. The lights would pop more. I'd have to fix the light in the hood would go out every month. And I'm like, does this place have electrical problems? I told the lady, she's like, no. And I said, I think we live in a vortex, I told her, because they use the chilling system, they use the lights that they use the sun for the solar panels. So they I've investigated and they say that when there's solar panels, the ETs can come or the military can come and infiltrate more easily than regular electricity. Can you believe that? So there's like a shield that is up with regular electricity, but if you use solar panel, the shield is lessened. I don't know how to explain that, but that's what I see. And
right.
I'm reading on that. Yeah. So there was a lot of sadness. I was getting depressed a lot, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm going to the gym. Why am I so depressed? The oven light would go on, and then boom, it disappeared. Like no more light. I would replace it, nothing, and then the whole stove would go really, really high in purple flames, in
Yeah.
purple, not flames, but you know, it was electrical, so it was purple and then red. And I finally said, okay, I need a new stove. So they did that, and then the refrigerator started going. So just a lot of weird electrical problems. They even
Yeah.
had to call a professional, and they're like, well, this is weird. You probably just need a new stove. And I said, yeah, that's what I kept telling them. But he was here for an hour and a half trying to figure out what was happening. And I finally found out because there's also this little girl that followed me since 2015. There's this little girl that I heard in 2017. She said, Mama. And I woke up and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's not my daughter. She's older than a baby, you know, a toddler. And it was sure shit. It was a girl, a little girl that just wanted mama, you know. And I'm like, okay. And then she moved in with me in the other apartment complex. And I said, look, you could be with me as long as you don't scare my kids. And then it was weird because my daughter and her boyfriend lived with me at the time. And she said, yeah, I hear stuff in the kitchen, Mom. And I'm like, yeah, it's her. So finally, when I came here, I said, you know what? You either go to the hospitals here that are here, or you go to the hospice that's here and reincarnate. Or if you really want to reincarnate, go to the light. But if you don't want to reincarnate, you want to go home, go to the darkness, which is the planets and in outer
Right.
space. But anyway, going back to this apartment, I found out a year ago that the lady that was here, she was an older lady that killed herself. She undead herself, I guess that's what you can say. And after that, because I felt it a lot like around the bathroom and like in between the bathroom and my bedroom, I felt that a lot. Nobody told me until not even the manager, nothing until one of the ladies that has been here for 30 years told me that she was her neighbor. And then
Oh,
she had
wow.
her brother, yeah, and then her brother, he passed away normally, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is weird. And I have, since I was a kid, I can communicate with the dead, and I see a lot of dead people, ghosts, and things like that. But like you said, not all the ghosts are evil. Some of them, like you said, are sad, and they just
Yeah,
need someone to
they
love
just
them.
have something to say. They have to finish their mission. They have to maybe part of the end of their mission is reveal themselves to one person once they cross over, and then they can go and they can be in their realm, their world. Or maybe it's to scare the crap out of somebody so they'll wake up and stop being so ignorant and arrogant and pay attention to themselves and learn to love themselves. Maybe it could be a plethora of things. So yeah. Yeah, the other side, the realm, I've been hearing on my level every Halloween, oh, the veil is really thin this year. You kids be careful, you know. My mother was a member of the Edgar Cayce and the Association for Religious Enlightenment forever. I mean, since it started, she was in that stuff, and she didn't teach it too many of my brothers and sisters anything. I mean, she would answer the questions if they asked, but if they're just being a smart aleck, or if she thought for a minute they were just mildly curious, childlike curiosity, she would just shine them on. But I mean, she answered all my questions, and she always told me, you can do anything you want to do, anything you put your mind to, you will achieve it, you will succeed at it. And so far she's been right, and she's always been right. But when I was a teenager, I thought, oh yeah, I can do anything I want. No, not without consequence.
Not what she meant, Teresa.
I know. I remember on my 21st birthday, I was sitting in this bar, and my goal that day was to have 21 martinis just to see if I could do it. And I was only going to be 21 once. So, so I don't know. I didn't have really big aspirations when I was little.
21 Martini sounds like a song you should write.
Yeah,
Martinis are yummy.
yeah, they
But I
are.
can't have too many of those,
I think I had 10. I made 10 or
Yeah.
11, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember that
Yeah.
night.
I think it was like maybe 40 when I had my first martini. I had no idea what it was. It was sour apple martini. Those are yummy. But with all this stuff happening in our lives, we gave up drinking pretty much. We had to.
I
There's a
can't
lot of
stand it anymore. It's like
yeah,
so, ugh,
dead. It's pretty much dead, calling in the
yeah,
dead spirit.
yeah.
And
And there's nothing
I
worse than
wanted
a guy that's been drinking trying to kiss on you, or a girl, or it's
you know,
nasty.
it's gross. That's why I stopped dating because I got mad one day and I said, you know what? Excuse my language. Everybody's like, why don't you want to go out anymore? I'm like, look, now close your ears if you don't want to hear the bad word.
If you're
Put
sensitive,
it
close
right.
yours.
If you're sensitive, don't hear it, pause it or whatever, or mute it. So there's this saying, these two sayings that I hate, but it's true. People are effing,
Yeah,
right? Fucking and effing. And
yeah.
rock and roll, sex, drugs,
Drugs.
you know,
Other people's peace.
yeah, other people's peace and other people's pee. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But it's horrible. It's gross out there when you go into the party scene. You think that, oh, maybe you're gonna find a guy. Really, you think you're gonna find a guy that will love you and will be your husband at church? No. At the bar? No. You don't even Facebook? No. These dating apps are ridiculous,
I
you
know.
know. And they're just infested. These people are just infested with other beings. And why would you? I don't know. It's just the mentality that we have is different now because we've been in this world so many times. And then you feel sorry for the people. And at the same time, I get upset. I'm like, slap, slap. How many times have you been through this loop? You're stuck on a loop. You got to break that loop. You know, it could be whatever. It could be the dating thing. It could be the higher education thing. I mean, my son and my kids and my, you know, son-in-law, they got these degrees. Do you think that they could get a job here to
Oh,
with
I
those
know. It's
degrees?
so
It's stupid.
so
They
sad.
just want to take your money. They just want to suck your energy. So probably better to be just home learning things
Homebody,
online,
yeah.
going to the library, you know, using your intuition, right? I use a lot of the answers that I have is just me asking myself questions and obviously, you know, learning things and stuff. And then, oh, don't get me started. I was talking with a friend, Lauren, online, and we were talking about this Jezebel spirit that these men get stuck with these women that they end up marrying them or they end up having a relationship with them and then totally being controlled. They can't even go to the freaking doctor. And I'm really upset because, excuse me, in the past 3 weeks, I've had 3 deaths and they always come in three. They always leave in three. So
Hmm.
that bird, I don't know if I can find the video, but I posted it on Facebook where the bird is just yapping and yapping and yapping. And it was giving me a warning. I did not feel well that day. That day I was like really depressed for some reason. And I shared the video with my friend Erica Simmons. And this bird just kept going and going. Let me see if I can play it. It's talking.
Alicia.
Going and going.
Huh?
It just kept going and going, yapping and yapping, beep, 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 beep. And I just didn't get a good feeling. And I'm like, are you giving me a warning? What? I recorded it. It was up on the tallest pole. I've never seen a bird like that. It's like white with like maybe gray charcoal head, and it has beautiful spots on its wing. And I just didn't have a good feeling. And so then what do I find out? The next day I find out that James Rink died. And then a week later, my friend that hung herself, a friend of the family, she was very young. And then now yesterday, one of the older brothers of my dad passed away.
James
And
Ring died?
yeah, James Rink died. I thought I told
Oh,
you
wow.
the program. Yeah, I thought I told you. So,
Well, you might have, but I'm blonde, so I didn't get it. You have to
yeah,
you have to look in my eyes and talk to
yeah,
me.
because I think you were driving and we were just
Yeah,
like
I
doing a lot
probably
of,
didn't hear you.
we were like so happy, and then we were talking about everything. You know how we are. We talk about everything. Ah. So, yeah, I just, it's weird because I just get upset and I'm going to say it. So the woman he was married to, my uncle, wouldn't let him go to the doctor. She would control his money, control everything. And we were talking about that Jezebel spirit that a lot of men get in English is called PUSSY, whooped. But in Espanol, we say mandilon. Mandilon is where
Mhm.
you wear a mandil, you know, like to cook. And then you hide behind your wife's or your girlfriend's skirt, mandilon. That's what we say. You've heard it, right? Because you've been on the
Yeah,
south
I've
side.
heard it. Yeah.
So
It's really
it's
weird. I
just
used to speak Spanish. I was born in
you have the
LA.
accent.
I was born in
Yeah.
LA, and I'm
Oh,
like, how come I can understand it a little bit. Um, as long as I don't feel threatened. If I start feeling threatened, I get out of there. I've had a couple of girlfriends that have said, no, so and so was really drunk last night and she didn't mean to piss you off. She didn't mean to make you leave. And I'm like, no, that's just me. That was my decision. That had nothing to do with her. You know. And then we all get together and we talk a little bit and they're like, you're really weird, Teresa, but we love you.
I'm weird too, and I just I'm glad I finally met you too, like me, because yeah, we're weird and I love it because we don't belong to this realm. A lot of us don't
Uh-uh.
belong to this world, and but we're here trying to educate, right? Educate
Right,
people
right.
as to what these energies are, what it really means.
I
Like,
see that. Like, my daughter goes to El Rio over on this side of town, and I go to the one in the middle of town, right? And the one over there, by Nogales, that one that's like stepping into a totally different planet full of people. And
yeah,
the women are always angry and the whole time their kid or whatever or uh, um, their husband or male friend or whatever they are is going back into the back to see the doctor. They're sitting there doing their hair and putting on their makeup and everything. And I'm like, you already had 10 pounds on when you walked in the door. Why are you putting on more? But
yeah,
I mean, like some of these girls that wear this makeup, that makeup actually detracts from their beauty. It really
yeah,
does. It does not make them look good at all. Not like they think they look. But
yeah. Well, it's Hollywood programming,
yeah,
you know.
I always wondered that
Um,
because like I went to Redondo Beach High School, California, and all the lowrider chicks. That's what we call them, the lowrider chicks. They would wear like palm trees, like
oh
that.
yeah,
And I'm like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? And so
and the eyeliner.
I can understand the eyeliner for the cat eye thing, because I like
Yeah,
Catwoman. I think that's kind of cool.
yeah,
And in Egypt they did it too. They just cut it off and barred it up and down, so it was like a little paddle almost. And then I decided I was gonna, I don't know, maybe, let me see, I was a grade ahead of people my age. So I was in ninth grade and I went to the store and I stole some false eyelashes and I put them on. And my auntie looked at me and went, whack, take that shit off your face. So I was like, okay, I don't need to wear them anymore. So,
yeah. I remember I couldn't even. I was like 14 and my mom said I couldn't wear any makeup until I was 16. And of
yeah.
course, not stole, but my friend lent me her lipstick. It was red, of course. And I took off the lipstick before I got home, but I guess there was still some left. And she's
Yeah.
like, whack,
The
you
tint.
can't be using the lipstick.
Yeah.
So anyway, last night or 2 nights ago, you sent me something on cloning. Did you want to hit on that?
Say that
Anything?
again.
You were sent me a video on cloning that I was supposed to watch yesterday, but then I got the bad news. Anyway, do you want to hit on that, like the cloning, whatever you were
Oh
talking about?
no, because I'm not done watching it because it freaked me out when I first started watching it. I was like, oh, ugh.
Mhm.
I got creeped out. I really did. And I thought I gotta go back and start this over so that I can keep it in context, because
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
know.
it exists
Mhm.
all by itself. It doesn't need my creeped out reactions. That's how
Right,
I look
right.
at things sometimes. Well, it doesn't need my input. I really am interested in and how come, why, you know, and I used to watch this show called the Wild Wild West. Remember that show?
Yes, I watched it all
Where,
the
where,
time, and there's
where they
reruns
started the
too.
CIA? Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one, that that show kept popping up in my mind while I was listening to this podcaster, and I thought, do I need to do some research or what here? This is because like certain shows or events in my life, they'll come to my forethought, but not enough to be fully in focus. Then they'll
Mhm.
just mess with whatever is coming at me, whatever is going on around me. And then I have to stop and analyze everything and see where's what coming from.
Right.
Where's
Right.
what coming from? Yeah.
Yeah, the whole I totally get what you mean about creeped out, because there was one video that I watched. This guy put up this video series of videos, and there was Bernie Mac there. And Bernie
Yeah.
Mac, I used to watch him all the time too. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy too. Eddie Murphy was so dirty though. I'd rather, oh gosh, it's crazy. But anyway, Bernie Mac was funny. He was talking about in this video that Hollywood, right? Because he was in Hollywood, that he said, will clone you first and then kill you off.
Yeah.
So he was pretty much telling people that he was going to probably be killed off, and he was. And there was this whole rift between Arsenio Hall and this other guy. What's his name? Not Arsenio Hall, but that guy that does. He used to do a lot of comedy too back in the day with another white guy, which came out and See No Evil, Hear No Evil. What's his name? That comedian. He does shows now like Jeopardy, but not Jeopardy. Well, they had a riff, and it just, I know cloning exists because I know that I was cloned. I showed that picture long ago when I was left here at 4 or 5 years old, and I had the red hair, and I was really chubby because they had given me cortisone, and I was allergic to cortisone. I was not ever fat. It's just I was allergic to that, and that was a reaction. Um, then I came back at when I was in Miss Nora's class. I was in fourth grade. We did a whole NASA thing where we had to make planets out of balloons. I don't know if you ever had to do that with flour and newspaper and then paint them. And then we did a whole Star Trek theme where we were captains and things like that. And then there was a lot of people that were watching us. There was I remember two men in black that had like suits that day. And I know that that's the day that I got, again, taken to NASA or wherever, secret space. um, excuse me, I have never looked the same in pictures. It's just weird how they leave little clones behind us when we're in secret space or wherever kind of program. And I know that it's happened to a lot of us. Not just a few are what they call super soldiers, that's a really stupid word. But we are all enhanced. We've all what I remote viewed is that when we get the baby Jabberwocky when we're young, we get our little test prick, our little feet prick, the NAZI test prick to see, oh, that's her bloodline. Yeah, we were warned she was coming. Yeah, that's her. So let's give her that bloodline, or let's give her that disease, or whatever. See if she
Right. Right.
so all those baby Jabberwockies, those things that they've given us since we were babies, they're spirits, they're entities, and they're diseases. They just want to see how we're doing. And especially, us that were in the military. We were their number one guinea pigs, other than when we were kids. So it's funny
That's
because
true.
and it's weird because I'm like being attacked all the time. Physically, if it's if it's a whatever thing, the cancer or whatever, everything. I don't have a car anymore. I was really mad last night. I couldn't sleep because I was mad. I was mad about my uncle and everything leaving because the woman didn't
We got to
keep
get you a
it.
car, girl.
What I was like thinking, I was like, okay, my best friend in high school, when I was married, I had a brand new car. I've had brand new cars. I've had a lot of vehicles. I've had brand new houses that I've sent to be made and things like that. And why is it now? My best friends, whatever, they have nice cars. you know, they have a nice job, they have money. And then we're being targeted with financial situation, our cars, like the car that I used to have, the vehicle, like I talked about it many times, my tire slashed, the motor, this, the motor. I've talked about it extensively. What I'm trying to say is, and those friends that are well off, they don't talk about this stuff. And we that are talking about it, they try and hit us from anywhere. But I have these mantras that I call "You're so money, I'm so money. I'm so happy and grateful now that money, prosperity, healing comes to me now in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis." And then I add abracadabra. That is my mantra every day. And I thank, we'll just say God, the unconditional gods that, made us and love us, not the evil ones. I thank them. I thank myself for being here, for being able to speak out and say my truth. And I don't care how many people, a lot of people abandon us because they think we're Looney Tunes, but we're not. They just haven't gone through the veil. We're on the other side of the veil, people. Just watching you. Watching.
Yep. Waiting.
No. Ding, ding, ding. Anyone? Bueller?
Yeah, Bueller. Yeah. So I was trying to find, I can't remember which MML or MMS or whatever listing my mom's house is on, but maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that on another casual day like today, but just not now. Because I wanted people to be able to see the barn. So when I went back home after exiting the military in 1979, I just went for a short amount of time. And my mom has always been involved with, she's always been involved with um, the occult, if you will, both dark and light. She just is a curious soul. She wasn't real approachable. She was a triple Taurus. They're not real approachable people. So she was acting kind of funny, and we had gone out to dinner and we went back to the ranch and everything, and I said, so I noticed a couple of things right away that were not normal about the property. And uh, after dinner, when we're sitting there, she just said made a fire in the fireplace and everything. And I said, so how long have the invisibles been hanging around you, Mom? Are they bothering you? And she said, yeah, they are. And I said, oh, so you got some demons and shit up in here too, huh? She said, yeah, I do. And she said, one of them had manifested towards her and spoke to her like you and I are speaking, this straight up talk. No scary horns or anything. He just looked like a dude, like a man in her house. And she said, what the hell are you doing in my house? Because she was like that. And and he said, I've always been here. It was his land. He was assigned to that strip of land right there. So I told her, I said, well, there's different classifications of bad guys, and you have authority over these things. You really do. And it's not that whamby-pamby bullshit they teach you in Bible school. That's a bunch of bullshit. I know. And so we heard this big crash right in the middle of this conversation. So I grabbed my pistol and I ran out to the barn because to me that's where it came from. And then I got about 2 feet from the handle of the barn. It was a big, huge barn. like 10,000 square feet. It's huge. And all the lights in the barn came on before I got in there, yeah. And I heard running. And you got to be heavy and big and fast to make noise in sawdust. So I thought the horses might have been out. And we had this one stallion, and he did not like being put away. He wanted to be out with his girlfriends all day and all night, you know. And we can afford that. We don't need that many babies. Anyway, so at the time, and he was an Appaloosa quarter horse mix. And we were trying to get Appy quarter horses because quarter horses go the distance. They win every race every time. But the Thoroughbred Association was really giving my mom a hard time, and my mom thought that they just had some spies on her property trying to intimidate her or something like that, you know. And I whipped open the barn door. And I did not see any people. I didn't see any animals, but I saw two grays. One was short and one was tall.
Ooh.
Like the really, the really skinny, ugly, mean looking face one, the big tall one, like 12 foot tall, like, ugh. And I was like, I opened my mouth, but I couldn't scream. So I ran back in the house. I ran back in the house and I told her what I saw. And then she said, "Oh, I know who that is." So for 4 hours, mind you, it's already like at 10 o'clock at night. She's telling me about these people that came here from Hollywood, Mr. T, Jay-Z Knight, Linda Evans, and all these people like this. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I said, what did you? She said they invited me to a meeting. I went to a half a meeting and I left. And she said, I told them if they ever come on my property, I know it's them. I will shoot them. I said, Mom, what the fuck did they do to you? Why are you so
Linda
mad?
Evans. Linda
And she said,
Evans.
because I really didn't know about gaslighting, and I didn't know about, I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't equate it to non-military people, right? I thought everybody in Hollywood was just so nice and entertaining. They loved us people so
The
much.
CIA.
Yeah. I
Let me
thought,
show you real quick. This one is the picture my daughter drew that is in the original first book that I wrote. But she told me that she didn't want it on there. Oh my gosh, come on, show it. Come on, show
it
it,
says
show it.
as something. Oh, I could see parts of it here and there. Yeah.
I'm in the eye. How do you, oh gosh. Anyway,
You have to put
I'll
something
just post.
green behind it.
Yeah, it's it's an alien. It's a gray alien. He has something on the top. That's why it doesn't want to show it. Come on, guys. I've been able to do this before many times. Let me get closer. Oh, wow. Oh, there it goes. You see?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she drew when she was like in junior high.
As a kid?
Yeah, as a
Wow.
kid. And then she has another one where she drew like these ships and then pizza behind her.
Oh,
You know what that means?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
It's
don't
it's
really care for pizza. My daughter makes some homemade ones sometimes, and they're all right. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
pretty good. We make them with Alfredo sauce or fish sauce or something like that, and we put shrimp on it.
Really yummy.
Oh, it's really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
So so these Hollywood people, so she knew them through the Edward Casey thing. like the occult, or
Well, I think that's how they found her, because members used to be public registry, and then they took that away. Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, um, let's see, where do I start? Let's see. What Linda Evans was the movie star that was on Dallas, that
Yes,
TV show
I
Dallas.
watched that.
And there was a
Mhm.
lady that looked just like her. I mean, they look like identical twins. Their mannerisms were very similar and everything. Even side by side on camera, you could tell.
Were they clones?
I think so. And Jay-Z Knight was the one that prophesied from the spirit Ramtha. And then they started getting nasty with my mom. And that's about the time I came back to the ranch again and saw my mom, and she was telling me that they were giving her a really hard time. And I'm like, Mom, how do these people fucking find you? I mean, you're a long ways away
Looks like to me
from
it looks like,
California.
you know, it's probably the Church of Satan, and also the CIA.
Yeah, yeah. So they, well, a few of her boyfriends might have clued them in too. I don't know.
Okay.
She's always going out with a cop or a military guy or, you know, Fed. She's always, that's all she ever had in her life. That's the only thing she knew, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not that's not making lightly of the fact that the CIA definitely mentally and emotionally took advantage of both men and women for their innocence. Because they would
Hmm.
in some realm in their life they were innocent, and that's all they need is that one aspect of that one realm that you really are tuned into naturally, that it's really just your essence, it's really the real you, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? And I knew enough. I didn't know it when in I had heard things like, oh, it's probably a Operation this or Operation that or did Operation Sunshine or Little Rainbow or whatever. You know what I mean? And and I thought, yeah, there's something to this. So I was gonna go to a meeting and check these people out. And all of a sudden they just called off all their meetings.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And then I guess Mr. T had gone back to California. And then he went to Tennessee for a while, and then he came back up there to the little town that was down the street from us. And the little town down the street from us is known for um, protection of people that do not register their children at birth. They have their babies at home, and their babies never see their first birthday. It's a very, very dark, 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 dark place. One of the darkest places in Washington state. The second dark place is Auburn, Washington, which is really close to Seattle. These are like neighborhoods that got so big that they became little townships, or they became little townships or whatever. Are your kitties getting into stuff? I know mine
I
was
see.
just
I see one of your kitties there. Hi, Mom. What you doing?
Sophie.
Hello, Sophie. Yeah, Kiki's getting because she was outside and then she came in and then she scratches the door. But yeah, this can you tell people that don't know before you go in and talk about the Washington, what is Project Sunshine and Project Rainbow? That way they know.
No, I cannot. But I'm open to discussing it with them if they find out any information. And It's really old projects. That's something to do with the Korean War. Project Rainbow especially. So that's all I know. And I've never been able to FOIA anything or anything. Oh, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
All I
Yeah,
know
you
is I
know
was part
something.
of I was part of Project Rainbow um through Montauk.
Oh,
We can talk offline.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so Mr. T, you think that he was a part of this whole intimidating group
Mr.
like
T,
Linda
the
Evans?
actor,
I know, I used to watch him all the
put in
time.
the food.
Yeah, come on, fool. Yeah, I loved him
I
with
know,
his
me too.
little, you know.
I just don't know what happened to him. It's like they become Christians and they profess it, but then are not allowed to ever come back and be seen by the public again. Who the hell? What the hell? You know? And I guess they're doing God's work anyway, as they say. He's probably just doing God's work and totally happy and healthy and everything else. But I don't know, you know?
It's like they hide. A lot of criminals hide in the Christian religion.
Yeah, I
And then,
know.
yeah, yeah. And then they say that if you're in Dulce Base, like Area 51, you can't use like if you or any some other places that say you go on tour somewhere, um, government, that you can't use the name of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Have you heard about the veterans from Area 51?
No, but I know I was part
They
of the
know
area.
they're all programmed to die by age of 65 or 60, between 60 and
That's crazy.
65 years old, and they're scared to
Well,
death.
knock on wood, because I'm gonna live until I'm 115.
Yeah. I just want to make it to 105. I think I
Yeah,
could do that. I'm pretty sure I could do that.
we can
Yeah.
go on walks.
Yeah. Yep. For my 90th birthday, I would like to go in a helicopter again.
Oh, I've been on one when I was with City of
Have you
San
ever got
Tucson.
pushed out of one?
No, well, yeah, yes, but what I was saying is we were up in the air looking for, on calls, in other words.
Right, right.
But yeah, yeah, let's do it on a bucket list. So
Then
Washington, yeah,
I
Washington
don't know
is,
if I always dreamed that when I was 70, I was going to get married. Well, that's next year, and I don't even have a freaking boyfriend. I have no prospects, nothing.
you gotta be
I
careful
better
with those.
rewrite this one.
Yeah, maybe you change your timeline
Yeah.
to where you
I,
don't
th I
need
think
to.
a lot of things are going to change in 2026 for a lot of people, for a
Yeah.
lot of reasons, for a lot of reasons. I think there is as many reasons as there are people right now, that
Mhm.
things are going to change for the better. That's my belief, and that's what I put a lot of energy into is
Same.
2026.
Same,
Yeah.
because 2026 ends up to be a one, which means you revert back to yourself. And 2025, I predicted that was the year of change. You got to do something to change your life, and whatever every aspect that you write, you're gonna have to. If there's a need to change, you need to change it now, because
Yeah.
now in 2026, it reverts back to self again, reverts back to healing and saying no when you have to say no, and um, shining your light, but also taking care of it too. So
I kind of agree
Washington,
with the the Gen X and the even younger generation that it's like, why?
why what?
Get a new car, get a house, get this, get that.
Yeah,
Why? Why?
it doesn't.
Just to get it stressed more.
Yeah, that's what I tell my kids is like, I we had it all when you guys were little. We had the new everything, new house, new car, new everything.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, you can just walk. Why invest in a vehicle? It's you're paying for the aesthetics. You just, like when you want like a regular coffee pot,
Yeah.
you could even run your own little motor. Just make a little motor. You don't
Right.
need this whole fancy thing,
Right. I like
It's
those old-fashioned percolators anyway, because this
me too.
automatic drip coffee grounds, they're so acidic. They're just terrible. They're
I
not,
do the
I don't
organic
like.
ones.
Oh, you
If
do?
you go to Trader Joe's, yeah, I go to Trader Joe's, and they have organic Colombian. It's
Oh,
really good.
cool.
I'm sorry, the Keurig machine. But speaking of
Oh,
the
the
old ones,
Keurig? Yeah.
yeah, but my grandma, my Nina, she used to have in Spanish, it's called talega, but it's like the material. And
Mm-hmm.
then you put it on a aluminum pot and you're boiling it and you with the coffee and it's just tela. How do you say tela? You know,
Perfect.
cotton or whatever, huh?
It's just perfect. It sounds good.
It's the old fashioned, like instead of wearing it on your hat, because it could be like an elf hat, but it's you put it on sorry, I've had two TIAs and I have high functioning autism, and sometimes the words don't, it's jumbled in there, sorry.
That's
But
okay. I can
it's
see
the
in my
smoke.
head what you're talking about.
Yeah. Um, but speaking of these, so who do you think takes the children? I mean, we already know, but um,
Well, there's
the ones that
Satanists out there. They're Satanists. They're
exactly the ones that are not registered, right? They'll have the kid, they'll
oh,
target a family, they'll even hire the midwife for you and say you don't have to pay it.
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when my mom told me that, I was like, I started flashing from when I was a teenager and I'd go to the little general store there in town. I'd be like, one day I would see somebody, I'd go in the next day and I'd see them and they didn't have their baby with them. I'd go, where's your baby? You know, and they would go, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, immediate gaslighting, immediately. And then the next thing I know, I'd get in trouble at school. And that went on for about a year. And I ran away. I ran away one time and I went to San Diego. I hitchhiked all the way to San Diego.
I believe you. I ran away when I was
I went to
14
my
and then
grandma's
16.
house.
I went to California when I was 16. I
Oh,
ran
you
away.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was horrible at home, right? Just you just want to be independent.
Only when there was problems, only when, you know, only when there was spiritual, unexplainable stuff going on, then there was problems. If everybody was on the same page, then we were. If we weren't, it was between us. But when the town started getting involved in, picking apart my mother and her reputation, and then she had an excellent horse breeding reputation and an excellent her bloodline, her paperwork was immaculate. She never got in trouble for anything. So then they went to the next best person, which was me, but that backfired in our face, and that's a whole show by itself. Um, and then, you know, then they started mutilating animals on the farm next to ours because they couldn't tell which was ours and which was the guy that lived next door. And he had a lumber mill. He had a sawmill, and he could, the big semi trucks would come in and put the logs on there and cut them up and then stack them back up on the truck and take them down to the docks in Tacoma. Yeah, yeah. And then he came riding his four-wheeler over. to our place. And my mom was like, "What? The old man is on the quad?" And I said, "Yeah, Mom, that's pretty weird. Because he's pretty old, and usually he sent his son over, son was like 30 or 40 years old. He sent his son over there. And he's like, something's wrong with our horse. Can you come over and look at it?" So we went over there and we looked at it. And my mom immediately, because she was psychic, she knew already, she saw in her head because she had been up all night, and her empathy. If anybody wants to know why Tauruses are so fucking mean, it's because they're extremely empathic. Sophie, stop, stop, stop.
I have my mean side.
She's
I
she's
have the
she's
piranha.
making
Oh,
biscuits. Very noisy biscuits. I think
oh
they
my
have
God.
Rice Krispies in them.
Oh, look at what, let me put on my glasses because somebody put something here. BK, I don't know if I'm saying it right. You're one of subscribers. I'm so sorry if I'm saying it right, but it's BHAK Tapiter. Tapter 3501. My sister also tried to run away from to California. She didn't make it far because she didn't know how to drive stick. The whole runaway to California. Yeah, the whole, you know what? You're right. He says, or she it says the whole runaway California thing is huge program. Yep. And I said, yeah, I learned how to drive stick when I was like 6 or 7. And he laughs. You're ahead of the curve. Yeah, one of my mom, she
We
was
had a
raised by
tractor. That's what I learned to drive on. It was a
oh,
tractor.
nice. I learned how to drive in a VW, a small yellow bug. I
Oh,
think I was
little
like
bug.
6 or 7. Yeah, those are nice. That's my favorite.
Uh,
But yes, he's right, or she, I'm sorry, female or male, I can't tell. Is it Peter? Okay. So he was saying that the whole runaway to California and be a star is a program. I was part of it too. I was 14 and I said, I think I was 14 or 13. I said, I want to go to Hollywood. I told my mom. And then they sent me to this guy. I got it from the mall. The mall is a big recruiter. And I went to this office and they started like filming me and they taught me how to walk, do the catwalk with heels
mhm.
and um, the whole makeup thing. And they said, yeah, you're hired, here's, and I saw myself, the replay on TV, on their little TV. And my mom said, no, you're not going. And I'm like, Mom, they still got me, even though she doesn't get what I'm talking about. I go, because I once in a while talk to her about the programs and she was like, oh no, you're crazy, you're tonta, and then the whole P. Diddy came up. She's like, you were right about what you told me, and I'm like, yeah, so
Yeah.
I, we think we get away and shit, here we are talking
And we
about our
don't, we
experience.
don't.
Yeah, they like lasso us in because we're so innocent. Like, even to this day, I have to be really careful, even though, we're badasses and shit, we're in the military, police, whatever. You have to be very careful because we have to be careful because our heart is, we always think the best of people. And then when they hurt us, it's like, motherfucker, what? Like, evil does exist and it's existed
I used to
for.
always say when someone would hurt me, especially if they did it on purpose, I would go, fuckers have been dead for less.
Yeah, exactly. And then I walk into a room
And then
and
I
the
would
first thing
walk away before I got in trouble.
yeah, and I know what you're talking about because I think you do the same, but do you do this? I walk into a room and it's like, okay, escape, exits, and then how can
Exit,
I kill these
exit,
people?
yeah,
Yeah, how fast can I kill these people if I have to? Like, if
right.
they attack, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't do
kind of
it
like
so
John
much
Wick.
anymore. I really don't, but I still find myself doing it. I think it's just nature. It's just, I've been cornered
We
and
think
harassed so many times in my life and lied to and gaslit, just like everybody else. Everybody has in a way. Um, and I do believe I handle it well now. I didn't used to when I was 20, you know.
Yeah, we're a little wiser now.
Yeah, yeah.
And more at peace, you know. Just
And there's also something that's really rewarding about getting through to another person too, and
yeah,
stopping them from making a mistake of their entire life.
yeah.
There really is. And I've been in that situation 3 times, and I did not like how it was going, but I loved how it turned out in the end. And did I become friends with that person? Hell no. No, I didn't. In fact, people, places, and things made sure we weren't around each other anymore. And I think that was pretty cool. I think that's part of what a handler's job is, so I know I've had a few of those. Oh,
What ended up
I gotta
what
put my green screen up for the next show.
yeah, what ended up happening to your mom's ranch and stuff? Like, and you were saying that they were getting
It's
rid of
for
the
sale for $500,000. She's gone crazy.
she's going wild.
She got the zoomies.
Sophie. I got my kitties over
Now
here
she's
too.
back. Now she's gone. Now she's back. So.
And Lola's out there barking up a storm.
Is she?
Um, yeah, she just there's a lot of deliveries because of the holidays and even the
Oh,
screeching
she
of the
does. She wants to know what's going on her watch. Yeah.
all the time, all the time. Even the screeching of the brakes of the people, driving.
Oh, yeah.
But
Especially the UPS guys. Why do they always get stuck with squeaky brake? They always.
no. And then the FedEx guys, they come up with their music all loud, and some Amazon people are playing their music in their van. I'm like, what the hell? Like, calm
Yeah.
down.
Amazon's bad about the loud music.
Yeah. I it's reminded me because I stopped when I was a cop, I stopped a UPS driver and then I gave him a warning. And the next day my sergeant's like, hey, that so-and-so guy, he's pretty cool. You did really well not giving him a ticket. I'm like, yeah. And he was in his regular vehicle. And then I felt bad because there was an old man that I had stopped because he ran a stop. He didn't have his glasses on, and it
Oh,
said in his
no.
driver's license, I had to give him a ticket and find him a ride home. And I'm like, you ain't supposed to be driving without no glasses, sir. So it's like a give and take when you're in this situation. Then I had some women that I would be writing the ticket and then I would come back and then they'd lower their shirts. Like, I'm not gay. And even if I was, I'm not going to, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like,
Am I
and
going
then
to
the men,
compromise
they'd be like,
my life for your tits?
no, right. And then the guys are like, hey, you want to go out to dinner with me and forget the ticket? And I'm like, sir, I'm married and, here's your ticket. Have a nice day. And I'd walk back, just watching Discovery.
I
But
used to have my daughter went to Episcopalian school with the nuns and the Mother Mary and Mother Superior and all that kind of stuff like that. And it- the school closed down because the Mother Superior passed away. And then some of the sisters that were really strong are next in line to be the Mother Superior. They passed away too. They were all on the same campus here locally. And then they all got sick and they just died. And so they said that there would be no 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. But they decided they had 10th, 9th and 10th, and then 11th and 12th, she had to go to public school. And so I would pick her up at the bus or whatever, and we would go to the grocery store or go here, go there. One of the little stores I used to go to was also a county gas station. And that's where the Border Patrol had gotten the contract to get their gas there, because they didn't have to pay for the gas. They just have the card thing. And it adds up and gets paid whatever, monthly or quarterly or whatever. And we were in the store and this Border Patrol was checking out my butt. And she's standing kind of catty corner to me, right? She could see him looking at me and see exactly where he was looking. And it wasn't at my backside, it was at my ass. And she goes, "Excuse me." My daughter she just chewed him a new butthole, and he was like, "Oh God!" And he got busted. And then she says, "Mom, is it like that every time you go somewhere?" I go, "Yeah, pretty much been that way all my life."
That reminds me of when I was driving with my daughter. I was picking her up from school, and then these two guys were flirting with me and, you know, whistling at me. And then my daughter's like, "Stop it, she's my mom." And I'm like, who the hell do these men think they are? Like, she would
Oh,
get so mad. And then in lines too, she would tell him, "Why are you staring at my mom? You know, stop it." Or she would tell him
yeah.
off. I would
Yep.
do the same with my mom too, growing up, because I hated men just staring and being so belligerent about it. And growing up, you know, going in Mexico, the same thing. Like my dad wouldn't let me wear shorts because these guys, even if I wore regular clothes, the guys would be whistling, "Hey, Juanita," and I'm like, "What? Leave me alone!" Like
Really.
I've always been. I don't like it when men target women like that, especially when we're
Yeah.
young, little girls. You
Yeah.
know, it's not right. I think we should
I
teach
don't
our
know why she's sitting
men.
there staring at the door. She's just
Doesn't
staring.
she? Does she want Gene to come out?
I think she can go in there. I think it's open a little bit.
Close.
Oh no, it's not. It's closed. Yeah, she probably wants to go in there just because the door is closed, not because she wants to go in there.
Oh yeah, my one of my cats is the same way. Yes, they are. Because they think they're the boss. But
Yeah.
as far as you said that they started with your mom, they started mutilating the animals next door to her ranch, and
Hmm.
then this logger came up, so he was also like,
Yeah,
"Man, you
when
guys are highly."
his horse died. It
Mm.
died. It bled out. Because they cut
Oh
the
gosh.
genitals. They cut the genitals on the stallions and they use it for ritual. And then some of them, the process of mutilating them, it goes sour, it goes haywire, the spell's not strong enough or whatever, and they just cause the victim animal to get an infection and then they die. It's a long, slow, painful death. And so when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, now my mom had these special locks on her stall gates that ours has never opened one ever, never, ever, ever. Even smart ones, even goats. We had goats, and they were big, big goats, and they watch you like 3 or 4 times, and then they know how to get in there to help themselves to dinner to get to the grain bin. They know how to do it. And they never, none of the animals could open the bin stalls because we had one on each side of the barn, on each end of the barn. And so one day I go out there and all the horses are out. They're in the arena inside, just running around. And some of them were not in season. They did not want to mate. It's like, you don't do that in horse world. You don't do that. And they were freaking out. And the stallion was afraid of a couple of the older mares, more mature mares. So he was trying to get out. He was just kicking the shit out of the door. He was trying to get out of the barn. So he whizzes past me, and I'm like, "Oh, great! It's 2 o'clock in the morning." And Double's loose. His name was Double, and funny name now that I think about it, Double. Um, And then a couple of the mares that were the younger ones that were in season, they ran out after their boyfriend. They were like, "Me first, me first." They were running out. It's dark as dark, dark, dark can be. There was no moon. It was just dark and spooky looking and really cold, like free frost on the ground. And so I'm like, I better go back in the house and put my boots on if I have to go run around and find this stallion. And I was kind of afraid of him. He didn't like me that much, but my mom said if you just go out and and get him in his stall and give him some food and just stand there and talk to him really nice, then he'll love you forever. And so I did. So I later on I became good at hitting it. I'd just whistle and he would come and he would go in his house by himself. He was a good boy. Um, and I noticed he was kind of dropped down a little bit and his boyhood there, and I'm like, this ain't right. And he looked at really red and sore. And so I went in the house, I put him in the stall, I locked it, and I went in the house, I said, something's wrong with your horse. He's all red down there. And she's like, what? She was freaking out. And she called the vet right away, right away. Now, these mutilations are done with surgical precision. And there was already years of rumors going around that it was either the ETs or some crazy rogue veterinarians that were also vet surgeons. And it had nothing to do with being a veteran. It would everything to do with being a veterinarian, an animal taker, animal doctor. And so I was tired of all the rumors and everything. And then, I went back and I went online to where RAMTHA was supposed to be doing her meetings online for a while. And I said, you in the chat, I said, you guys need to leave my mother alone. And everything after that, everything got kind of quiet. And then about a month later, I'm out and my friend was still in the military, and I said, hey, I need some goggles. I need some night vision goggles, man. Because I'm trying to look at something out in the wide open, like 5 acres of nothing but field, and I don't want to be seen. And so they sent me some. They sent me some. I was like, thank you. and 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 they asked me what I was doing. I said, I'll write you a summary when I get done. I'll write you a summary when I get done of what I'm doing and why. And so I'm out in the backyard one day and I'm by this triple post. It was a triple post because there was a gate that went this way and a gate that went this way on the other side of the post. And so um, they they said, let us know about the summary. So I was thinking about that, and I was out standing by this post, and then I realized if I stand over here, nobody could see me, but there was a little bit of space where I could get one of the goggle lenses through it and not be seen. So that's where I was. I was hiding there for I had pretty good attention span there. I lasted there for about 3 hours, and then I was like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. It's getting cold. I don't have a jacket on or nothing. And I had slippers on. I didn't have boots on. When you're at home, you help yourself. And all of a sudden I see this hooded figure about 5 foot tall, just kind of like not walking, but kind of hovering over. Like I couldn't see its feet. I could see where they were supposed to be. And I could see a little shade there, but I didn't make any sense to me. And it dawned on me, don't let them trick you with their illusions because that's how they get your energy. That's what something told me in my gut. And I said, oh. So I came out from the post and it got closer and closer and it got clearer and clearer, like the mist around it, the fog kind of started going away. And it didn't dawn on me at the time that that misty fog around it, it wasn't around anything else. Wasn't around the horses or the goats or the geese or anything. Just this little dude, this little creature thing. And then a lot of rumors were going around by this time of people's animals. And I was very politically involved with this whole mutilation thing because people are losing their pets. How can you put a price on a pet? You know, your German Shepherd means everything to you. But across the street at the U of A, the stallion over there, he means everything to the U of A. So why should he get $1 million and you don't? And so I was able to bring animal mutilation in Pierce County, Washington, and in Washington State, um, changed from a misdemeanor to a felony. Because I went to Congress and I said, hey, this is bullshit. And it was really cool because I didn't know that one of the guys on the congressional hearing at that court hearing was um, someone that my mom actually knew, and she had followed his advice, and that's how she got to board the Budweiser Clydesdale team. So it was kind of like a little family thing. So I was glad I got to do something for all the horse and cattle associations. I got to do something for them.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So she created the Budweiser
Clydesdale.
Clydesdale.
Yeah, the Olympia team.
Wow. I'm writing it down. That is so awesome. What did
They
that
are
do
the
for
most
them?
hugest horses in the world, I think. And they're so gentle, they're so intelligent and compassionate. Like if you cry around one of those things, oh my God, it will cry too. It will cry with
I
you.
believe you. I believe you because when I go walk with Lola, there was a few times when they hit me with the cancer that I was just crying. And it was before they put the other gate so that you wouldn't touch them. And a
Mhm.
bunch of them came toward me, and there's two huge ones, sometimes three. But I swear these horses know who I am. And even sometimes when I whistle at them, they
Horses
turn
are
around.
really
Oh,
smart. They're
even
very
if they have their
intelligent.
blinders on. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know me. Like,
Yeah.
I love them. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm glad you told me because I thought, can they really tell? Like,
Yeah, they
they
can.
can't. So this,
Horses are more independent than other herd animals and other farm animals, like pack animals and herd animals, kind of have two different realities, but they know how to show compassion to each other. They know how to stay in their own lane, so to speak, when there's a stampede on the farm, you know, because it only takes one time of getting hit, and that's it. They're either dead or they're euthanized because of the cost of taking care of them. They can't be breaking legs and backs and necks and stuff like that. So, ooh, what time is it?
do you want to do a show next
Four,
time and then you
four.
talk about, yeah, it's
Right.
we start at 3, so it's 4:48 p.m. here. Um, can you do a continuation next time?
Yeah, that way
Okay.
I can um, pull up some links and stuff and show. It makes a lot of difference if you see the barn because this little creature, he
Mhm.
came and he went right past me. I swear he went right through me.
They can do that.
They can.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. And here I
So
have
he,
a,
and
yeah.
then he went through the wall of the barn and went right into the barn. It
Mhm.
went over to the horse that I had put in his stall, and I heard banging and hoofs clanging on the walls and like screaming. Have you ever heard a horse scream? because it's afraid. Oh my God, it will change your psyche. It changes you. And I go back and the stallion is just stomping all over that cloak. He was stomping all over it. But that thing, it was only in the barn for not even a minute. It didn't even take me a minute to get back in the barn. I was running. I was in good shape. And the the uh the weird thing was, where did the thing or person that was wearing the cape go?
They go
And
into
then
interdimensional.
the next night is something let every one of the horses out of their stall again
Yeah,
after
it was
that.
that being. Mhm.
Yeah.
It was that being.
It
And
had it
here,
had green it had green eyes. That's why I thought it was an imposter, an alien imposter. I thought it was like a little lady or something, or a teenage
Mhm.
kid or 10-year-old or whatever, because they grow them tall out in the mountains.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So those
so
are
yeah.
those are part of the gray aliens that are grown in Area 51, and they need the blood of animals to actually sleep in,
Yeah.
or when they make them. That's what I've read um, from Linda Moulton Howe, and that makes sense. And they
I
can
want to
also
get
go
some
into.
information on the next show. I want to talk about when you get abducted so many times and your blood type, the type changes, medically changes.
Sometimes it does because of the radiation.
Oh, really?
And then
So
how
that's
many
why.
times we go to outer space. My vision, I was taken so many times. I was a perfect vision. And then I was sitting in the back of the class. I was from when I was like in fifth grade back. I would sit in the back of the class and could see everything perfect. And once sixth grade hit, I had to wear these big, thick ass glasses.
Can see.
And I was told that it was because we go interdimensionally, or we go in and out of space, like with the radiation and all the different technology that we go through. And we man our own ship too, just with our mind.
Hmm.
That's
Have you ever
huge.
flown a hardship?
Not the only hardship that I've done is the Cessna when I was in seventh, eighth grade, where they took me to ride it, to pilot it myself. And then when I was in the chopper for Tucson Police, but in my dreams, yes. In
Mm.
my astral, because that's how they take you. Either sometimes you go with your whole body, or sometimes it's just your mind that they
When
do
I
that.
had,
And yeah,
yeah, I,
one of
I,
those pods.
I
Yeah.
was always told, that my blood type was O positive. Then when I went in
Mm.
the military, they said it's O negative. It's not O positive. It's a good thing you didn't need a
Oh, interesting.
transfusion or you probably would have died. And I was like, oh,
So
okay.
you're O positive right now?
No, I'm neither one. It changed again.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Well, that's probably your clone then.
yeah. It's A positive.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and
Um,
I've been waiting for years for people to tell me because I found this out in 2008 that it changed because the VA told me it changed. And I'm
it's pretty
like,
much
what?
what they change when we have clones. They clone our bodies. So it just the clone you might be in the clone, the A one, and the other ones could have been killed off, and then now you're in this body. So that's what I'm seeing.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
that's
because
just
when
me.
I had my radio show, I had excuse me, a guest on and she was talking about walk-ins. And she said, you've been dead before. Have you ever asked your spiritual team if you have a walk-in. And I said, what the hell is that? I got enough stuff to keep. I was learning so much stuff when I had my show. And I had good guests on, and they were very easy to follow. They were very easy to, for me to check up on what they were talking about. But
Mhm.
walk-ins is a real thing.
I'm a walk-in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
it's
the
a real
lights.
thing. But I
Yeah, I
think
have the light come
I
out on
think
my
it
chest.
happened to me. I think it happened to me when my biological father tried to kill me when I was 3 weeks old. I think that's when it happened. Because I
When he
don't
tried
see
to,
how it could have happened at any other time.
yeah.
Even though I've been dead and everything, all the criteria is there, but I don't know.
Do you want to?
Just the whole blood thing, I don't get how the hell can your blood change? Because I've
Mhm,
had 3 different kinds of cancer, but I've only had chemo one time.
mhm.
Just one treatment, and I couldn't handle it, so I never went back to the doctor. I said, I gotta heal myself.
Yes, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you did. Well, we can talk about this our next show. I'll let you know when it is.
Hmm.
That's great. I'm glad I have you on here. Thank you, Teresa. I love
So
you.
is next Wednesday is Christmas, right?
Next, let me just hold on. I have a few shows with other guests, but
Right.
let me go ahead and check my schedule and then we can do that.
Oh, next Thursday is Christmas. Yeah, next Thursday.
Okay. Next, do you want to do it on the 24th? It's Christmas Eve. I don't have anything to do, but I don't know if
I
you
don't
do.
either.
Just,
I'm not going to celebrate Christmas this year. I cannot
I'm
get
not
into
either.
it. There's
I'm not
there's
either.
there's just so much other stuff that I want to put my prayers to and my energy to right now.
Yeah, let's
But if you
do,
guys want to buy us a present, we'll take it.
yeah, we will. If you guys want to, you know, if you guys want to give to the channel, Teresa or myself, you guys, you have our links, and Teresa's on Facebook, and then if you want to buy my books, they're on Amazon, and Teresa does readings too, and we bounce off each other, and we're here for you guys. If you need us, just schedule an appointment, and we'll catch you later, alligator. Love you. Thank you all for being on Codebreaker. We'll talk. Thank you, Teresa. We'll talk next
All right.
Wednesday, the
Bye,
24th.
sweetie.